Hokum, directed by Damien McCarthy and starring Adam Scott, tells the story of an author who visits a hotel in rural Ireland and spreads the ashes of his parents. The longer he stays there, the more he starts to notice something is awry. This is Damien McCarthy's third feature-length film and his first since 2024's Oddity. Oddity was a film that got people to start paying attention to McCarthy. He became an emerging voice in horror with his blend of realistic tension and strong horrific imagery, had many people talking about Oddity in conversations of the best horror movie of 2024. For me, while I enjoyed that movie to a point, I felt Oddity didn't take the horror far enough, nor did it have the right budget to truly get itself over the finish line. However, that did not stop me from being incredibly excited for McCarthy's next project, especially when it was announced he would be partnering with Neon. I felt that Oddity was oozing with potential, but once again didn't have the right resources to truly become a full vision. Given the right idea and sufficient budget, I felt McCarthy had the talent and vision to deliver us something truly special. And thankfully, Hokum sees that potential come to fruition, giving us a fascinating blend of genre and tone. His slow burn approach to horror felt tedious in previous projects, but here it allows the film to create a unique identity and explore the interworkings of the horror in a really satisfying way. Leaning so heavily on Irish folklore definitely could have been a crutch for McCarthy, but he utilized it perfectly, injecting the film with just the right amount of fantastical scares. The setting of a rural hotel also could have been extremely cliche, but it really only yielded exquisite cinematography and piercing atmosphere. I felt that Hokum is one of the few horror movies that have come out in the past couple of years to use these very cliche and very overwrought horror tropes and use them in a way that felt new and felt fresh. The film also plays with genre in a way that I found to be incredibly compelling. The first half serves as a pretty grounded thriller, while the second half completely flies off the rails into nightmarish horror. It was a juxtaposition that, on paper, really should not have worked, but I felt that McCarthy gave the right amount of care and the right amount of effort to each side of the film where it never felt unbalanced or like one was dominating the other. It felt like a very natural ebb and flow and made for a very satisfying experience narratively. I found the emotional undertones of the movie to add a lot of weight to the situation as well, giving the audience a true reason to stay invested, something I felt was quite underdeveloped in McCarthy's previous work. Those emotional undertones are really driven home by Adam Scott's very powerful and quiet performance. He really adds a unique dynamic to the narrative. His character was really a perfect fit for this type of story, adding an almost folktale element to his arc. The film really excelled in keeping me consistently engaged, consistently on my toes, and was able to deliver a very striking horror experience. It wasn't entirely perfect. I did feel the narrative could be a little clunky at times. It tried to weave together a few too many intersecting plot points, and I felt that they could have gone a bit farther with the horror and lore of the hotel if they didn't spend so much time on these needless subplots. I also found the ending to be pretty disheartening, throwing a wrench into things that was not needed. Obviously, not to spoil anything, it kind of felt like McCarthy pulling the rug out from under you and saying, oh, maybe the audience won't buy all of this, so let's put a quick fix and make it more realistic this way. And I don't really love when horror filmmakers do that. I like when they commit to their kind of zanier ideas. It makes for a more full experience. And unfortunately, some of that experience for me with Hokum was undercut by that kind of needless wrench thrown into things at the end. Despite these minor setbacks, though, Hokum gave me exactly what I wanted. It gave me a ton of atmosphere, gave me a compelling story, brought to the table a lot of narrative elements that I didn't know McCarthy was capable of, and it really delivered on his potential. I'm seeing him become a great horror filmmaker in real time. It's pretty cool. So with that all being said, I'm going to give Hokum a 4 out of 5. What did you guys think of this film? Please let me know in the comments down below. What do you want to see me review next? I have a couple other films on the docket, and obviously, May is here, and that is usually one of the busiest months in terms of new releases, so we have plenty to talk about. And yeah, other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.